Salute, salute, salute. The streets are buzzing. Salute Divine, sharp powers. New York Knicks laid a big egg tonight, fellas. Horrible performance, you know. We're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about the business side of things. You see, I'm suited up. It's a transaction mode tonight, fellas. How are we, Divine?
I'm good, CT. I'm good, man. Great pregame we had. Now we had the postgame with the pizza buzzing. We ready to talk about it, man. Knicks took an L tonight, and when I mean took an L, they took an L in all aspects. So it was kind of disappointing tonight. The way they came out flat, and didn't have the energy we was looking for. So we gonna get in here and talk about it.
Yeah, real talk. Sharp powers. Salute. How are we?
Salute chat, salute panel. Um, Tonight the Knicks did not play with any consistency. That's one of the big things that I gotta talk about. I mean, what I say tonight. Tonight they played nothing like last night, man. It was like night and day. That's all
Yeah,
I can say.
yeah, facts, right? We were so, I guess, excited last night that this team could be turning the corner. Yes, it was a second leg of a back-to-back Divine, but I think tonight it was just it was one of the worst losses of the season to me. Just because there was just no energy tonight. No, the defense regressed. Went back to its same struggles.
Yeah, absolutely. It was overall the whole team. Everybody was in the minus. They had no energy. None. It was Derrick Rose played pretty good. Obi played a little bit better. Played good. He them two, but the one daily out there. I mean, Julius Randle he had it going, but I didn't like the way it happened because it came out with him isolating all night. You know what I mean? And it's not his fault, but I'm saying last night they was moving the ball. He was getting people involved. But sometimes I think he take that Sabonis matchup a little bit too personal.
Hmm.
I mean, and then he gets them out of his game because they balance so hard trying to go up against one another mano a mano. And then sometimes you forget about the other guys there. So it was just a bad look from the door from the beginning. They didn't come out there and play the way they wanted to. You know what I mean? And they really laid flat tonight. Fournier didn't have it going. RJ had it going at week 19. Julius had it going in the first half. He did not score in the second half.
Oof.
So
Say that again.
yeah, man, he did not score in the second half. That was abysmal. And you can see Mitch didn't have nothing tonight, energy wise. Burks tried to get it going a little bit, but everybody was a minus, the whole team. And I'm quite sure later on if we get into that, we go over the grade, and you will see like that whole team was a minus this week today.
Yeah, man. Like sharp hours. Talk to me about what you saw. What disappoints you most about tonight.
Everything, everything disappointed me. We got out rebounded. We got beat in the paint. We got these guys scored like 27 assists on us tonight, man. It was miserable, man. From coming from last night to having a game like this, it was a bad loss, man. And the team should feel bad. And I do want to not take away that it was a back-to-back game, and and they got in late last night, and they were talking to Derrick Rose about how he conditions for a game like last night, and he had said something about he didn't really get in and didn't get much sleep and stuff like that. But these are NBA players right here, man, and majority of these guys are, I don't want to say young, but they're young guys, man. 22, 23, 25, 27. I mean, they still kind of young, man. And, I say it was a bad game tonight, man. Very bad game.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think every time they start to feel good a bit about themselves, Divine, like they had the confidence last night, and then they just think they're probably going to come into Indy and pick up another win. Like, to me, this team hasn't proven anything. Or if anything, they've proven they're inconsistent. And I think if they really, really wanted tonight, back to back aside, they had the talent to win the game. It was just we didn't see the effort, and then obviously execution was poor. And Indiana obviously had a lot to prove. They're in the news. There's a lot of buzz swirling about them, Divine. So I think that probably lit a fire under some of their players too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying in the pregame, I was like, listen, this team is better than San Antonio. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I mean? I was like, listen, them guys are much better than San Antonio. You know, and I was like, you know, we can't think that we're gonna play them. Even though we was all hoping to predict a win and everything, but I did say like, no, this is a good team. They got pride. They got a good starting five down there. And then you add Duarte to that four they had. They got a good solid starting team down there. They really do. And you know, and it's a shame that they might try to break this thing up, but they get in the groove. Anything can happen with them. You know what I mean? But I think overall, like you said, the inconsistency. One night we up, one night we down, the peaks and valleys. I thought even tonight, if you lose the game, you go down competing though. You know what I mean? You compete on and you know, to give up 70 points in the first half. We're not winning no basketball games like that. We back to that 30-point a quarter thing, you know what I mean? And that's what happened tonight. And you know, and I do agree with Shah, man. You know, sometimes I think when you come from Texas to Indiana, I think it's like a time difference as well. You know what I mean? So, you know, and they just got outplayed tonight. They got outplayed everybody just about. So RJ, like I said, he did it. He tried to do a thing. Randall tried to do a thing in the first half. You know, everybody else didn't have it that much. You know, I mean, we scored 102, but we gave up 122, and I think the defense just wasn't there.
Yeah, and Charlie King, can we trade Fournier December 15? I'm suited up. I'm in business mode, transaction mode. That's what we're going to be talking about mostly this show, but we'll chop up, you know, this bad performance. You know, salute Beans, sharp hours. Like Divine said, you know, to me, it's not professional. You know, they should have come in with better energy. You know, this was their chance to capitalize on last night. And I just think, Indiana punched us in the mouth. You know, they did have a great game, but you can't be giving up 70 points at half to this team, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This was a team that was a get back game. They beat us the last time, and they beat us pretty bad, and we needed to get back on them tonight, and we showed no effort. You know, it happens. I mean, you know, this is an up and down team, roller coaster, uphill, downhill, in the valley, all that other stuff. But I was looking forward for them to at least attempt to try to play basketball tonight, man. And they stunk it up tonight, man.
Yeah, real talk. Let's look at the box score now, and then we'll open the panel, get into it. Divine, where do you want to start tonight?
Man, we're going to go at the top of the leaderboard. You know, minus 22. Barrett minus 25. They scored 18 and 19. And Alex Burks, and they had the highest plus minuses. So Julius Randle at 20 plus minus 22. That dumb stats wasn't. And like I said, in that second half, he played 33 minutes. You know,
real quick, I've just pull up. Yeah, Indiana. Have a look at all the pluses for their starters compared to ours. You know,
right? Look at that. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, can't really comprehend that. You know, Sabonis plus 22, Turner plus 26, Brogdon plus 24. I mean, even in a game, there's so many runs, Divine. It shouldn't happen like from wire to wire, all the starters in a plus 20. Like, I mean, we mailed this one in.
Yeah. And yeah, man, we had looking down the board with Julius Randle, man. If we're gonna get some grades tonight, I'm just gonna give Julius Randle for what I expected from him. He definitely gonna get a B minus tonight. I really want to go B C plus, but you know, because he just disappeared in that second half. But you know what, I'm gonna be lenient, man, because they are the back to back. But I'm gonna give them definitely a B minus tonight.
Let's just go through it all and give everyone who doesn't get an F their grade, and then we'll give out all the Fs.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna say Julius Randle C plus, Todd Gibson C plus, Alex Burks 15 points. I'm gonna give him a C plus. Evan Fournier gets an F. RJ Barrett gets a C plus. Jericho Sims gets a C. Obi Toppin, even though he had a minus 13, I'm gonna give him a B minus tonight. That defense need to get better, but I'm gonna give him a B minus. He was one of the few that had a lot of energy and activity tonight. And that windmill dunk was ridiculous. So I gotta give him credit for that. That was nice. That got us down 5, but we couldn't even do nothing after that. Knox, you know what it is. Mitchell Robinson get a C plus tonight. No, C minus for my boy Mitch tonight. He get a C minus tonight. He didn't come with no energy. He didn't have it tonight. Derrick Rose, C plus. McBride, I give McBride a B minus. I wish that energy he was playing with in the last 3 minutes was in the whole game for some other people. So yeah, quickly gets a C plus and Grimes gets a C plus.
Okay, so the only F's Fournier.
Yeah, pretty much. He stunk it up.
Okay, Sharp Hours.
Man. All right, let's go. Randu, I'm gonna give Randu around a C. He did do much tonight, but look at those numbers, man. I mean, he didn't do too great on assists tonight, but he almost got a double tonight. Taj, gotta give him a C. He went out there and tried to play some ball, man. Burks, C. I'm gonna give him a C tonight. I can't give Burks a C. Burks is always a solid B for me, man. I give him a solid B. Fournier definitely a F. RJ, I get RJ played some ball tonight, man. I give Randu I'm sorry, Barrett a B. I'll give him a B tonight. Sims got in that. He get an A. He got +5, so he gets an A tonight. Obi Toppin played some good ball, man, and I got to at least give him a B for that between the leg tomahawk round the house dunk. At least a B for that. Knox, he get an A. He +5. He didn't score. He didn't do really much anything, but he got in the game, so let's give him an A, man. Mitch tonight, man. He didn't play. He was lethargic a little bit tonight, man. He was a little lumbery tonight. But that's my boy, so I give him a C minus just because he's my boy, man. D Rose definitely a B minus. McBride, he gets an A. He got into the game. He scored some 4 points. He looked good. Played some good defense for the 3 minutes that he was in the game. IQ's about he was off a little bit tonight, so I give him a C plus. And Grimes, I give him a plus because he got in the game and he scored and he looked good. After he hit the shot, he had a big smile on his face, and I think he could do that a little. I think that he could do that in 7-8 minutes, man. I think he could score 6-8 points in 7-8 minutes on if he gets some real time.
Okay, yeah. Hey, some of those grades I agree, but some of them I think you guys are a bit kind tonight.
Nice. I was being nice, man, because I didn't want to give them Fs. I was going to give the whole lineup a D, man, because they all stuck except for really RJ tonight. Really.
Yeah. See, to me, like Randall's the leader, right? Yes, he put up 18 points, but minus 22. I got to give Randall a D.
Yeah, I feel you.
Tonight. Taj Gibson got the starting nod because of Nerlens Noel, which we'll touch on shortly. Can't stay healthy. 18 minutes. Didn't get to the line. Just 4 boards. I'll give Taj a D plus.
Really, you took 1 shot, bro. 4 rebounds.
Alec Burks, 30 minutes, minus 16. No assists.
No assists. I feel you.
F for Alec Burks. Starting point guard, you play 30 minutes and don't get 1 assist. That's an F. Evan Fournier, F. RJ Barrett, now he probably gets the best grade, although he was a minus 25, the worst out of anybody. But he did shoot 3 of 5 from 3, so that inches him up to a C. I think RJ Barrett gets a C. Jericho Sims, 4 minutes. Yep, I'll give him a B. Obi gets a B for that dunk. Just said to hell with it. I don't really care if we're down whatever. Let me get on Sports Center. Kevin Knox, A plus. That's the only time Knox is getting an A plus. Mitchell Robb, 19 minutes. -6, 8. didn't bring that same energy. Going to give Mitch a C minus.
Mm.
D Rose, I'll give him a C plus. Yeah, McBride, I'll give him an A plus. Quickly, going to give Quickly a C plus, and Grimes gets an A plus as well.
Hey Mitch,
Yeah.
hey, CT, what did you give Mitch?
I gave Mitch a C minus, I think.
Man, Mitch get a D minus tonight.
I was trying to be nice with my boy, man. I gave him a C minus too. He stunk tonight, man.
Mitch had 2 rebounds.
He did, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I guess how much of this was on the back to back? Like, in your opinions, how much was it on the back to back, and how much do you think we could see, part of last night, come to fruition?
I think it's part of a back to back for sure. You got to remember, the Indiana Pacers only played 3 games in the last 9 days. They've been off for a minute. I mean, they've been cruising, something of that nature. They haven't been playing a lot of basketball there. They were really rested, and then I think a lot had to do with back to back. Also, got to give Miles Turner and them they credit. I mean, when I was saying in early in the post game, in the pregame, I was like, y'all not gonna get a lot of shots down here tonight, and they sure didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what's crazy? If you take out Grimes, you take out Mick Jericho, you take out Knox and McBride, that whole team was a negative. And the only reason them was for them 4 players, they were sick. They just threw them in at the end because it wasn't nothing else, But out of the main 10, all of them had a minus tonight.
Thanks. And each of you answer Charlie's great question. What do you think? This team's better than last year or not?
Record-wise, they are. Playing night to night because they haven't gelled, man. We see how good this team can be for the games that we really won, man. Like last night, man. We see how these guys can really push the pace, get the ball out, get some shots up, score in the paint. But our record is better than last year.
Yeah, but to you, do you think this team is better?
I mean, could we mess around with the lineup or something like that, or try to make another change or something like that? Is this team going to make it to the 4th seed this year? The way they're playing, like the way they played tonight, or the way they played against Denver the other night? No. We need some more consistency, man. And is this team better? The record is better.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they better for these reasons. Obi Toppin got better. Emmanuel quickly got better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I do think he might not be showing it now, but I do think Evan Fournier is an upgrade over Reggie Bullock at least from an offensive standpoint. And I just think that he's just not having it consistently right now. And I do think Kemba Walker is an upgrade over Alpha Payton, even though it didn't go the way that we was hoping it was going to go. But I do think they upgraded both of them positions, and I do think Obi Toppin and like I said, it quickly got better. And I think our rookie crop is better compared to having Knox and Frank them on the bench not playing at all. I do think this team is better. I just don't think we playing like we better than the team we had earlier last year.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with both of you, but I understand your reasons, and I agree with some of them. I think as a team, we're worse, but individuals got better. I think, some individuals got better. Obi quickly, they've developed nicely. I think Randall's regressed from last season, which was hard. That last season was a once in a career type season for some people, and RJ Barrett's regressed a bit. I just think, as a team, we're missing some harmony, chemistry, and we're losing some identity. Last season, we had an identity. So far this season, we haven't found that yet.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't found that identity. I think we can still be a better team. I'm hoping, I'm dressed for the business side of things tonight. We'll talk about transactions, but I'm hoping we can turn this around. But I think as the team as a right of tonight, I don't think we're better than last season. Last season we were gritty, Alfred Payton, Reggie Bullock, that for all their shortcomings, they gave you something that doesn't show up on the box score. I think tonight we're just seeing this too often, up and down. But defense, wise, like it's unbelievable to give up 70 points to this Indiana team tonight that's about to blow things up. It's just unacceptable. I think this is going to get James Dolan maybe a little bit out of his chair, or at least Leon Rose and whatnot. Divine. I think this is just definitely gonna put them on notice for Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And like I said, we went through these things last year too. We lost 6 games in a row last year a couple of times. We lost 5 games in a row. We won 4 games. We lost games like this all last year as well. But I think what it come down to is it's hard. It's early. I think it's too early to judge whether the team is better than last year, because I don't think we haven't seen these guys play a full out all stretch of game, and if we do, I think that it'll show itself. But I think we regressed on the defense big time. I think Noel being out all these games like tonight, what I mean. I just think that we got the same players as last year, other than Alpha Payton and Reggie Bullock. We pretty much brought back everybody that was here. And I just think that because of the way the season started, with Fournier in the slump, no nerves, no well consistently, Mitchell Robinson without fully ready to roll. I just think a lot of things, and the Kemba Walker situation didn't pan out. But so if you want to say it's better as of right now, they played. Last year team might have been playing better than them to a degree through the course of the year. Because like I said, we wasn't as good last year coming out the gate neither. Like Shaw said, on top of that, the East wasn't strong as it is now. You know what I mean? When the East wasn't nothing like it is. I think the East this year better than the West. So I think all that plays in the equation for me, because I think the East got better. A lot of these guys, they haven't gelled yet. I'm talking about gel. I'm not because they didn't gel, because they don't like they make an excuse for why they're not playing. But I think because of all the different scenarios, like Noel, people in and out, constantly. I think that played a part. We had people that had everybody here tonight, CT, and next we know we get into the injury report. Nerlens Noel go back down. It just is no inconsistency all around. Not only playing on the court, there's no consistency with the players coming in and out and being healthy and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I said I think this team is still better than that team last year. I just don't think they're playing better than they're playing right now.
Yeah, I can see that as well. And sharp hours, like to Divine's great point. Nerlens Noel. You just never know. It's a wait and see every single night. It's that not only what team we're going to get, but which players we're going to have available. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, man. This might have been a sign for Noel to sit down, be heard, and stay right there and right down there with the Pacers and make that trade. That might be it right there. You might see by what time it's in now. Maybe by 12 o'clock, you might hear something. Don't be surprised. I mean, it's still early, but they could. I think something's going to get shaken up, man, early in that 15th, man. If this management right now don't have something in mind right now, I don't know what we could do. I mean, it's still early in the season. I hate to say this right now, and we could at any given time we could go on a 6, 8, 10 game run to change the whole outlook on it. But I don't want it to be after we get we're 6 games under 500. It's not, that's gonna hurt us.
Yeah, we're gonna get that far.
Yeah, man. I don't want it to get that far, man. These guys got to do something, man. And like I said, I get it, man. I watched some stuff earlier. They got in late last night. It was 3, 4 o'clock before they land, something like that. They got in real late, and yeah, it could have took a little bit out of them to prepare for it. And like you said, Divine, these guys, the paces, they were off 6, 7, 8 games, man. So they had a chance to plan for us to come there when we got there. They could scheme for it. They had if you watch them tonight, man, their defense was really good on schemes tonight. They knew where we wanted to be, who the ball was gonna be passed to. They were really picking up on a lot of things tonight, and you know, it is what it is. Tough loss tonight, man.
Yeah, it's actually a reality check, fellas, because for a team that's mulling blowing it up, like Divine's point, they have a lot of potential. This team plays like this every night. Indiana, I'm talking about. They can do some things, and they are only 5 games under now, six games under or whatever. This early in the season, so for all this talk, they might blow things up. If they win the next couple, they might have second thoughts.
This is true.
Yeah, and that could have been just a way to get a spark them. They could have just said put that out there to wake this team up. Sometimes they just throw that out there, subliminal message out there just to get these guys' attention. Like if you don't get it together, we might blow it up. You know what I mean? So, but you know what? I'm disappointed just by the energy standpoint tonight, coming off a back to back. You still got to show the energy because we were feeling good last night. Now tonight we're not feeling good. Now, I guarantee we hopefully Friday we go down the field and beat Toronto. We back at 500 and we so right now we are right now at the 500 basketball team right now. We just playing 500 basketball right now, and we winning and losing, we winning and losing, we winning and losing. That's what's going on, and until we can figure this thing out, I don't have a problem with them staying 500 the way they playing right now until we can get this thing together. If y'all tell me if you tell me even right now the bass we playing, the Knicks going to the All-Star break at 500, I will take that. I really would. I would take 500 going into the All-Star break. Because, like I said, then you got a chance to come into the second half of the season, and it might be a whole different scenario. You know what I mean? So, if they got to play the way they plan, so they get together. But I don't think this team is that much worse than last year's team. I don't believe that whatsoever. You know what I mean? I just think that they got to find a way to get consistent with it and play it. But I'm gonna keep my faith in this team, man. I just we just got to get these mental lapses out of here. And I'm gonna chalk the L up tonight. A lot to do with traveling. And I don't make no excuses about NBA team, not the Knicks first team, not even the Knicks. But I do think that playing that game last night, right then 8:30, it'd be different. We played in the Alamo last night at 7 and played tonight at 8:30. You see what I mean? We played a late game and had an early game. And we would have been flipped around where we would have had an early game last night and maybe a later game tonight. You might have seen a different outcome to a degree. But I just think that they tried to get in that game. They didn't have it. And I think they got outplayed tonight. But I think that a lot of that had to do with that traveling tonight to me and not making excuses, just looking at the way they played last night today. CT, you don't play like you played in one night and then the next night you just come out and just stink it up like that. I can see if they would have came out the night and scrapped and lost by maybe 6, 7, or 8. You know what I mean? They fought hard. They lost by 22. They just didn't have it tonight. You know what I mean? I think that energy was that's what to me where they lost that, because I would have took Randall's game and RJ's game in the first half, 18, 19 points in the first half, but it was like meaningless because we were just down so much, and they had plus 20 all over the place. So let's hope that it's just not a trend though.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of that, everything, the lineup changing. Last night we had Nerlens Noel. He's very important to this team's defense. Tonight we didn't have that. We had to go back to Taj, who's not used to being, playing this kind of minutes recently. The back-to-back, as well as I think, they coasted a little bit. They came in a bit of confidence thinking, hey, we're just going to perform and we're going to get it done. And you can't really do that in the NBA right now. I think Sharp Hours, in the East, any team's going to come out from Orlando, Cleveland, doesn't matter. Washington's doing well now. It's a whole new season. Like, it's just last season's sort of finished now. This is a brand new NBA season.
These teams in the East are really beefed up and ready to play some basketball. I always say this year. I didn't think I'm the one team that to talk about that I'm a little surprised at is I'm surprised Brooklyn is doing as well as they are doing. But I think that the top 10 teams in the East this year was going to be a little changed up from the way it was last year. Milwaukee's making a surprise to me. They jumped up. They're like second place now. But you also see that with Washington being fourth or fifth right now, stuff like that. So it's all mixed up right now. The Hornets are playing better ball this year, So it's Cleveland, it's just Chicago got a better starting lineup, uh, uh, What man, I'm missing what I'm talking about right now. But this guy just got hurt. Their center just got hurt, but they were playing. Miami was playing pretty good this year. So it's all messed up and it's all jumbled up. And as Devon always say, man, this game tonight, man, I didn't see none of the scores tonight. But it was a lot of East teams playing tonight that could have helped us move up quicker. So it's just a little setback, but we here.
Yeah, good looks. Yeah, there was a few results go our way tonight, Divine. I don't know if you peeped. Yeah, we saw what Toronto lost. We saw the Bulls lost.
Hornets.
The Hornets too. Yeah.
Here's the crazy one. They on a 7-game winning streak, and the Rockets beat the Nets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they lost to the Rockets by 10 in Houston. So and like I said, and like even tonight we lost by 20. But but like that's how the NBA is right now. The Houston Rockets beat the Brooklyn Nets, and but we lost on a back-to-back, and but I'm just frustrated, not worried, and I'm not even in worried mode right now. Because like I said, I don't care if we maintain 500 until we get to the All-Star break. I get worried when we start going 4 games under 500. If I don't think that's going to happen, though.
That's what I'm worried.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this team I think Tom Thibodeau got enough talent there to not let that happen. But I just hope we don't get that. Well, we did 3. We won 1 that we lost again. So but we just got to find a way to right this thing, man, and hopefully we can stay tread water until they bring in some more cavalry. Or they make a trade or bring up some more firepower if we don't think we got enough now, or this team got to finally sit down and say, listen, man, we got to. I'm gonna wait and see Friday. I'm gonna chalk this one up to just a travel game and a back-to-back. I'm gonna give them that tonight. I'm gonna give them the Knicks that because I don't believe that a whole New York Knicks team all could be plus minus, all could be minus. Now we might have had some time in the season when the second unit was plus or for a week or two. And the starting unit was in the minus, but the whole team was a minus. So that tell me it wasn't individual players.
Right.
I think that had a lot to do with the travel when your whole team like that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to chalk that up. I'm going to chalk up the L tonight just to the fact that back-to-back. And then Friday night they come out and do this. That's a whole different story. Ain't no excuse Friday. So you got a day to rest tomorrow. And then you go out and get it at Friday. So I'm going to see. CT, I'm just going to hold it like tonight. I'm going to give the traveling and that back-to-back a little bit of that tonight for me.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely some percentage about it. There's no doubt. It was a great point you made. Late finish and early start tonight. You're just startling how much we let Indiana sort of do their thing. I would have had no issues losing this game by 5 points. Indiana played well, but to lose the way we did, it just after a good win last night, to lose by 20 and let them put up 70 in the first half. If I was Tom, halfway through the third quarter, I would have just let Miles McBride, let Quentin Grimes, Kevin Knox. Let's see what you got. Yeah, this would have been the perfect time, fellas.
Yeah, he a line for him letting them get out there tonight and scores. Get out there that last 3 minutes to score a couple of points or something like that. Yeah, man, we were getting beat up pretty much this whole game, man, and it would have been a fresh start if we could have started something different that they didn't scheme against. If we could have came out there with Deuce McBride, if we could have came out there with Grimes, maybe we didn't have no center, and we got this big 6'10" Sims sitting on the bench. I'm not saying that Taj didn't do what he needed to do, but we needed to see what Sims did, man. Last time we see Sims played pretty okay, and we haven't seen him since, man. So we could have used him tonight, man. His big, young, strong legs, his big arms, and could have probably bodied this guy Sabonis, or at least did something to him. We'll never know now, But it was something like you said. They should have the third quarter. They should have just run some of these young boys, and I'm pretty sure that the Pacers didn't scheme against these guys that much, and they could have had a better effect out there if they got out there earlier.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, it's a great point by Will too. We touched on earlier, Divine. Indiana had something to prove. Great subliminal message leaked out there. like I said, they're not even much worse than we are record-wise.
No.
The fact that they're talking about blowing things up with Rick Carlisle coming in, that just it just sort of didn't seem quite right this early in the season to be leaking that.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I got to say this here. They got a good starting five down there. They really. So Bonus is an all-star just like Julius Randle. So they watch each other out. Miles Turner right now playing better basketball than both of our centers right now. That washes that out. Then you go down to they point guard right now playing better than our point guard pretty much. Though I think Alex Burke did a good job on Brogdon tonight. But Brogdon been playing good. You could put him a little either like Alex Burke to a degree or above him because he can facilitate and do more things. Then you go to the 2 spot. Right now you got to say Caris LeVert playing equal as good as RJ or Fournier, whichever one you want to put him at. And then you leave that 3 spot. I think they got a good team. They was down on the defense tonight. They got down at it. They got at the Knicks. I think no matter where the Knicks are going in any town in this NBA, everybody gunned for the Knicks. Everybody looked the gun for the Knicks. They, and that's why Julius Randle and our team. I say Julius Randle and the team. They got to be ready for this stuff, man. Every night somebody coming to punch you because you the Mecca. When people you synonymous with basketball, you know what I mean? So everybody, Broadway and everybody wants, they know we got that type of it to us when it comes to, all the hype and stuff. And that's why the team come at us, man. I think tonight they brought it to us, man. I was watching them on the defense tonight, and Cats was getting at it, and then and our defense wasn't getting at it. And there you go. You know what I mean? They was getting at it, we wasn't getting at it.
Word. And yeah, like Will says there, he would let that team cook if he was Indy. No starters even close to 30. Yeah. They're a pretty young team, but hey, every franchise can do what they want. Indiana. I saw this crazy stat that Indiana have not had a top 10 draft pick since 1989. So let that sink in. They've constantly tried to just keep retooling, staying relevant. But maybe they just got sick of that and just thought, hey, this is getting us nowhere. Let's do a fire sale, or at least leak this thing out just to see what we could get back for people. See, sometimes you don't know without putting dudes on the trade block, but you leak something out to Woj, and suddenly you get teams calling you, Divine, just seeing what your pieces can bring in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. They good at they probably that's a smart thing to do because, like I said, now they were 11-16. They won 3 more games. They right there with everybody else.
Right there.
Right there. You know what I mean?
Right there.
Right there. So now that's a good team. Now let's say they go out there and then they wind up bringing something, making them better. So either they're going to rebuild, or to me, they're going to either rebuild or they're going to do something to make that team better because they got a good team. Like I said, ain't how you start is how you finish. You got to watch out for them. They play good defense. They got some good 2-way players down there. And like I said, I like Caris LeVert down there. Him and like, could you imagine Miles Turner and Caris LeVert on our team today? Like I said earlier, I think the defense for us was terrible tonight, but I do think this here we got to find a way to get Evan Fournier on a consistent. That's what disappoints DT real quick, and I'll pass the mic. We expected Evan Fournier to do what he's been doing in his career. You know what I mean? We had expected Kemba Walker to give us a little bit something like he gave us last year. Maybe not much, but something. Like last year. And they didn't come. They haven't come through at all. And then I just don't. I think with the inconsistencies of RJ right now and the inconsistencies of every guy, just make it tough. But like I said, we playing bad and we still right there. And if we get it together, I think we'd be all right. We playing bad, terrible basketball, man. We 1 game under 500, and we've been playing terrible. That tells me that we only a few twinks in the armor, kinks in the armor to get right and fix that kink in the armor a little bit. And you just never know. I still believe this team is going to be able to turn it around, man. Just a matter of, I hope they don't wait like they did last year to wait till the end of the season to do it. Do it sooner than later. That's all.
Yeah, fact, sharp hours. Let's touch on, before we talk about external movement and trades and stuff, what internal, like what players that are currently on this team, rotation wise and things, would you want to start to look at changing or seeing?
Right now, Noel is one of the big things. He can't, he's not healthy right now, man, and he may need to sit down so he can get healthy. And he may have to share a seat over there next to Kimba or something like that, and see what happens. I like to see the young guys come out there, especially Deuce, man. Deuce going down in the G League and doing
Mm.
35 points and 6, 7 assists and stuff like that. He got in tonight and he looked like he wanted to score. He looked like he wanted to play some ball, man. The reason why they were all plus was majority because of Deuce, because he scored 4, 6 points. The points that he scored, plus I guess the Grimes. I mean, not Grimes. Oh yeah, the Grimes shot. I think he hit a 3-pointer too. Those guys got in the game and scored, man. 7 points in 3 minutes. I mean, between the two of them. I mean, it's not much, but what can happen if you give these guys 12, 13 minutes, 8, 12 minutes, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with it. Bring it on, Divine.
Oh,
That it's time.
yeah, man. I pretty much agree with if Nerlens Noel is not going to be able to stay healthy, him or Mitch, I do think and I know Todd is a savvy veteran, but we need to say Todd for down the line when the playoffs get here, something like that. When we fight for that position, but I do think Sims need to get in there and go to backup center if Nerlens
Hmm.
is going to be out. I do think they need to switch out Fournier and Obi. I don't care what nobody's saying until y'all prove me wrong. I think they need to get Obi Toppin in that start. We need some energy up in there. We too stagnant. Teams are starting to say, you know what? We just going to set our defense on the offense end, and that's it. That's what they did tonight. It was set defense every play after play, no transition, no pace like Sean said.
Hmm.
So all they doing is against the Knicks is setting their defense in the half court because we're not running up and down the floor, and they trapping us like that. So that's why I said, you know what, bring Obi Toppin in there. What you got to lose? It can't be no worse than what
Word.
you're doing right now. So Obi Toppin might come in there, and I'm I would start Obi if Nerlens Noel gonna go down. I would start Obi and Julius Randle and let Mitch. If y'all want Mitch to come off the bench at that second center spot, if you don't feel like so let Obi start the game, and let Obi and Randall start the game, and then you bring Mitchell off the bench. But I do. We got to do because I was thinking about it for Fournier, but I know a lot of people not with that. But I think that's another position we got to start thinking about. How long are we going to wait till this man be consistent? So I like McBride. I like Grimes. I think we got to try to get these guys in there, man, to give us some energy, some youth shots, some energy movement. Because you look at what what I'm not saying it's about McBride, but you look at what he did tonight. Him and Quickly's the only cat. Him, Grimes. One thing I say about him, Grimes, and Quickly, they will pressure that basketball. They will pressure the ball. I mean, so I just think that I would like to see Obi Toppin getting that starting lineup for now. If it is going to be for Evan Fournier for a minute, or you if Nerlens Noel he can't play, I would bring him in and let him start the game with go small ball 5 with him at the beginning, maybe to give us some energy and at the beginning of the game. Then you could bring Mitch in. That would be it for me.
Yeah, I think for me, like you got to try it. I think nothing should be off the table. And yeah, Ajay doesn't want to, change it up because he likes Obi's prowess in the second unit. But I'm also thinking the starting unit, it's getting off to too many slow starts, and it's just getting outscored all the time. Let's see if we can get that energy. I just want players to play hungry. The NBA is half effort, half talent, right? We've seen teams like Detroit Pistons win championships, off the defensive end, hustle, heart, all of that. This NBA, like there's so many teams talented. Like I said, we lost to Orlando twice. Cleveland's on the come up, Indy's on the come up, Washington's overtaken us, Chicago's overtaken us so far in one season, just like that. Right? You can't just rely on talent. You need players that want to be hungry and play hard every night, not players that just accept playing. Oh, tonight I feel like playing hard. I'm going to feel like playing hard next week. I've already got a few mil in the bank. I'm good.
Yep.
That we're just going to continue to see this 500 ball inconsistency. I think if we don't continue to find the right players that want to play hard, and I think like the dudes like Grimes, McBride's, Jericho Sims, You know, even Kevin Knox, if he's on his last legs, you know, see what he has, you know, in terms of effort. Because especially tonight, I would have been a fan of just clearing the bench, you know, in the third quarter. I know the game was still within reach, but yeah, I just want to see that shaken up. You know, some more minutes, especially for Grimes, Sharp Powers. You know, he's money every time he puts a three up, and he can
Yeah.
defend.
Man, I'm right with you there, CT man. If not the beginning of the third quarter, we should have had the starters coming in third quarter, see if we could cut into the league. But by the end of that third quarter, I think we were down like 20, 22, 23 points, man. Let those guys ride, man. You know, give it up. You know, let's get back, sit and let these guys see what happens, man. Because these young guys start running, and I don't know this, but with them on the court, the ball is going to move faster, man. The ball is going to move up faster. We're going to have more time to get the ball around. We're going to get some more open shots, man, because we come down now when we set in our short half court offense, and the teams now are really, they know our scheme now, man. They know the scheme, even though the screen goes around. I mean, we go around the screens a little different because Fournier's there and stuff. And Fournier tonight, man, he was scared to shoot tonight again. He was scared to shoot off of that screen tonight. He was scared to shoot. So I mean, that's a change. We all talking about it. Of course, we all want to see these guys. I want to see these guys get out there. Perfect time would have been at the end of the third quarter. Let these young boys run the whole end of the third and the whole fourth quarter. They young. They could have played the whole 12 minutes. Let them run.
Yeah, Divine, yeah, facts.
Yeah, man. You know what? And you know, and I think that's why we got to be realistic about it. We need these young. We need energy, man. You know what? And
Hmm.
I know everybody concerned about Obi coming out of the second unit, right? You don't want to take him out of the second unit. But I guess it's gonna make a difference. It won't even matter that he's in the second unit if the first unit ain't doing nothing. It just ain't gonna matter. You know what I mean, CP? Because you know we need somebody in that first unit that could change that they got. I don't know who it is. It's not Obi. Who on that team can change the pace of that team? I don't know if we're gonna be able to go the whole year playing half court offense. I don't think we're gonna win like that because we too small to a degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And teams are setting up their defenses against us. So what do we do in that situation? If we can't trade nobody right now, how do we fix the situation in the first unit? We got to bring somebody in there who can like say if you get an offensive rebound in the first unit, nobody's down the court. You know what I mean? It's like at least one thing about Obi Toppin, he willing to get a break going. I mean, God, we don't got nobody other than RJ. If he would have to take it coast to coast, and I'm concerned. That's one thing I'm concerned with Alex Burks from this standpoint at the point guard situation. He don't do that. He can't. I ain't say he can't do it. He haven't done it. He's not a pace pusher. You know what I mean? We don't got no pace pushers up there, man. And I think that could be a detriment to us down the line if we don't get that correct because you can't always rely on your half court scoring. You got to be able to get easy buckets sometime. And I don't think that first unit right now generate enough easy buckets because they're too stagnant to me. And that's why I'm concerned with that. That's the reason why I thought let's try Obi and even go small ball five because, like I said, off a rebound, what's the first thing Obi Toppin do?
Push it.
Push it.
Yep.
And that's Shaw's pet peeve. Pace. We just have no pace in that first unit. So
Another thing that's why, like, I'm with you with putting Obi in that starting lineup, Divine, man. And I could also see him going in for a Fournier or something like that. You know, I mean, we might as well try some things and see what happens, man. I mean, it's not gonna hurt, and we really, I mean, Burks is a quality player, man. I don't want to make it sound like to me, Burks is always a B, no matter what he does, man. He always a solid B, but he doesn't pass the ball, man. He's not a high assist guy, or like tonight, no assists, man. Being the point guard and you don't get any assists, you got to look at that, man.
Yeah, shout out, be civilized. Hit the nail on the head. 3 players starting unit out of position. Burks, no assist. That's why I gave him an F, I think. Or I don't know if it was an F, maybe a D minus, D plus, but he played 30 minutes and, you're starting point guard. I said the other night, he's a great shooter. He's a great shooting guard, scorer. But once you move, the coach puts you in that point guard role, you need to start changing your mindset that I'm the point guard now. I know I can score, but the coach has put me in a point guard role now. I need to get an assist. I need to look for people. And this is the second out of 4 games, I think, that he started without a single assist. It's happened before, Divine. And real quick, about pushing the pace and struggling in the half court. The one reason we struggle in the half court as well is because both our centers, Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson, are not offensive games. So you're playing 4-on-5 when you're half court all the time, and your center cannot put it in the hoop.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, to me, it seems like, they're using Mitchell Robinson as a quarterback. He's just doing handoffs. That's all they do with him. It seems like, fake the handoff and turn around and shoot a spot up Jay. Would Tom Thibodeau allow you to do that? Is it something that you scared to do, or something that they don't allow you to do? Now, many times, I hate when they bring Mitch all the way out there, even on the offense. Why you bring them out there to set picks all the time? That's all Mitchell Robinson do. I'm like, y'all got to post the man sometime. Give him a couple of offensive plays, dog. You know what I mean? Every time the Knicks get the ball, they got Mitchell Robinson running out to the top of the key, throwing the screen. And that's why they're not, to me, y'all not even using it right. Mitchell Robinson is a 7 foot. I was looking at him over Miles Turner tonight. I'm like, man, this dude is big.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this dude is big. Throw the man in the post. Worst thing can happen to you, hack the man, or you block a shot, or he get fouled, or he put the ball in. But see, like CT, every time watch every play we watch with the Knicks, only thing Mitchell Robinson is doing is running out to the top of the key, setting the pick for somebody. That's why he don't got no offense game, because they're not even putting him in the offensive set. You can't keep doing that to that guy, man. Every now and then, hey, give him 3 or 4 post plays. And I think he might be more effective than we think he is. I think they're using him wrong. And another thing, a point I want to bring up, guys, Evan Fournier playing a 2 guard for us, right?
Yep.
You know what you got to think about this here? He's a 10-year vet, and a lot of these twos in this league is way bigger and stronger than him. More athletic, more stronger. You know what I mean? These young boys are solid down there, and I think that's another Achilles heel that Evan Fournier not realizing that he's going up against some stronger dudes down there, man. You look at all these skilled 2 guards in the league, man. Listen, so I just think that right now they got to find a way to fix that situation with Evan Fournier, because I do think that he's being outmatched by a lot of these young athletic cats, man. You know what I mean? Stronger cats. And like tonight, he couldn't hold Karis LeVert. You know what I mean? And him, he couldn't hold him there. You know what I mean? And whoever was at the 2, Duarte was running, couldn't do nothing with him. You know what I mean? He's faster, younger, faster, more athletic. And I think that's the problem as well. And I think that's why our defense suffering, is because I do think that Evan Fournier is outmatched there.
Yeah, that boy, Duarte had 16 points on him. I don't even think it was halftime. Yeah, like 16 points on him, middle of second quarter, man. He was tearing them up. Those putbacks and driving to the hole, reversing it on the other side of the rim and stuff like that. He was killing us, man. And he blow past Fournier and wasn't nobody there to help.
Yeah, man.
I heard Tom Thibodeau's press conference, post game conference. I didn't hear. I think I heard a little bit of Julius Randle's. I think I caught his at the end.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear nothing. So tell us, Sarge, if I missed something, let me know. But I know there's going to be some wash up to come, and out of this, inconsistency and players getting frustrated with each other, pointing fingers soon. Like you said, in terms of back to the original question about what will we change up without making an external change first. To me, I've always been a fan of the Quickly in the starting unit. I think it's time now, just to see what you have in that player. There comes a point when you have a young player thriving, and Quickly was reaching that point in the season, and I feel like we're holding him back now. We're holding him back. Alec Burks is not a point guard from what we're seeing right now. That's just straight facts. 0 assists again in 30 minutes. I mean, you and I could dribble the ball a little bit, trip over, and get one assist in in 30 minutes of an NBA game. You have that many athletes that you're playing with, to not be able to get one assist is absolutely crazy. And let me bring in my man Solfinger, number 12. I know he's got some things to say about tonight. Salute.
Salute, Soulfinger. What's good, brother?
Salute,
Oh,
fella. Hey, salute, fellas. Salute to the chat. One thing I tell you, I'm tired.
mm-hmm.
I'm tired. I know we're not at the halfway point, but Jesus, man, I'm tired.
Thanks.
The first half, the first quarter, told me how the game was gonna go, and I knew it was gonna be bad because we gave up over a 30-point quarter, and then the second quarter it didn't get any better. And like you were saying, Karis LeVert was cooking Fournier, and Fournier is not shooting or whatever. I don't know what's going on with him, and he's playing out of position. Well, it's not that he's playing. He's supposed to be the 2. RJ's playing out of position, but RJ's playing better. It's just the pieces don't fit to this puzzle.
Yeah.
Honest truth, I don't think the pieces fit. He shook it up before having Nerlens start, but he went with Taj. I'm of the mindset is you have to let the young guys get some time, especially for the defense. I like Burks, but if you think we're gonna survive the season with Burks running point, then you either on dope, dog food, dust, and glue, because it's not gonna happen, man.
It was a patchwork job, basically what it was.
Yeah,
patchwork.
basically you just put tissue paper on an arterial bleed. And it's not going to work, man. So we're going to have to put, I know he doesn't want to shake up the second unit as much, but you're going to have to. He's going to have to shake up the second unit, man. You're going to have to maybe use IQ. I do believe. Me and myself, I would use IQ at starting.
Salute to be civilized for that.
And I would look at relegating, bringing Fournier off the bench, man.
That's
putting RJ back to the 2.
Facts.
And put Burks at the 3.
Mm.
Yeah, we've been saying that for a while. Divine, great point by Solfinger. Appreciate that. Evan Fournier off the bench, I think. And also want to address what G-Man said, apparently what Evan said in the press conference, which I haven't seen yet, but I know we're speculating, but I believe what G-Man's saying, if that's what he said.
Yeah, absolutely. What else is something else about Fournier? He don't have the mentality to play in New York. I think he might be a little bit too laid back to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to say, but I don't say he don't got the it factor or he don't have the dog in him. Because and that's an aggressive place to play. You got to be tough skinned, tough minded. Playing in New York is not playing in Orlando, Florida. You understand what I'm saying? All your career you playing in Disneyland, where it ain't nothing to do there. It just nothing. To come playing in Mecca, I just think that's a whole different transition, man. And he might not be used to this stuff to me, man, because it's different, man. And I just think that he might not be built for this type of atmosphere that goes on there. And I do agree with Soulfinger. That's why I said, man, you could have put him to the bench even before this whole thing went down with Kemba. You could have started quickly, kept Burks where he was at, and just let Grimes play. It could have been
facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You could have let just Grimes take
facts,
and quickly could have took the point guard spot, and you could have left Alex Burks right where he was at. Because I agree with you, man. And you play 30 minutes and you get no assists, and you the point guard. That's crazy. So
I don't think
it's crazy.
I don't think Tibbs wanted Evan. I'm not going to say he's said, "Oh, don't get me him," but he's not the Tibbs kind of dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to see pointing fingers. And Evan doesn't want to be the scapegoat. No player wants to be a scapegoat for being blamed for the losing. He's like, "Oh, this guy's not doing this for me. I need this to be happening. This is not happening." it's just a team effort, and it's the coach now to start saying, hey, you're hurting my team. You need to go to the bench, or you need to come in. See, players can only be what they are, right? We're all human beings. We function in how we function. It's up to the coach to say, hey, this part is working in this role. This piece needs to be working in that role. I need to push that back. I need to, like a fleet controller, you need to be pushing all the buttons. And that's what Tom Thibodeau, he has the experience, fellas. And I think it's up to him now to fix this thing before external movement comes in.
Yeah, you're right about that, CT. This is the crazy thing about him. You said you hit the nail on the head with the whole Fournier not being a Tibbs guy, because he's not. Neither was Kemba. Kemba fell in our lap. It was a buyout. We took a swing. We took a big swing and miss. With that whole situation, he just doesn't fit. And same for Fournier. Fournier didn't fit. Look, I've been screaming since the off season when the free agency started, and I saw Kelly Oubre. I was like, "Ooh, Kelly Oubre, ooh, Kelly Oubre."
Right.
Yeah.
And then now what I'm seeing Kelly Oubre do in Charlotte, and I'm like, "See, this is why I said Kelly Oubre. I'm not worried about the Golden State Kelly Oubre. The Golden State Kelly Oubre was a whole different situation. It was a knee-jerk reaction because Clay went down. They needed him in. And it took him a minute to find himself. I'm looking at what he was in Washington and what he was in Phoenix.
For real.
Because now you see him in Charlotte and he's doing it. Now I heard it was different things with the contract, but bro, we didn't even look at him. We didn't whiff, they didn't spit at him or nothing. And I wasn't surprised we brought in. I was disappointed we brought in Evan, but I wasn't surprised because we tried to trade for him. He was on the radar last season. Now we got him, but that was a big letdown. We traded a lot of defense for what's supposed to be an offense, and the offense we're supposed to get is not translating. It's not translating, man. And after seeing how he was shooting today, my man was man, look, he was shook. He was shaking harder than Jello on a bumpy road, man.
And a lot of the front office, people now calling for GMs and stuff, but they're definitely the ones accountable for this, because players play basketball. I know they are accountable as well for daily performances, but the front office spends money on these guys. Divine, we asked before, Charlie asked a good question, are we the better team than last season? We do have a lot of players still that return. I was glad they brought back a lot of the pieces, but we needed fundamentally some sort of upgrades. Kemba Walker wasn't that upgrade, and Evan Fournier, hasn't been the part so far. So I think the two bigger moves that the front office made, they've struck out on so far.
Yeah, it didn't go the way they planned it. The Kemba Walker thing, you know what? I could live with that $9 million. It was an experiment. The problem I had is when you took him out, you didn't correct it the right way. But when you took him out, you should have put the right piece in there. I don't think Alex Burks was the right piece for New York Knicks as a point guard right now. And we know, man, like I said, it's so disappointing because Kemba Walker had played 43 games last year, but granted, he was 19 a game with Boston, with them two dudes down there. So it wasn't like, I can understand why they took the gamble once. They probably thought he had a little left in the tank. But I tell you what, man, I think the disappointing thing to me right now is Evan Fournier.
Oh yeah, I'm big disappointed, man.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in that, man. Like
I am too.
$19 million.
He hit that.
The cat is like, I mean, he's so iffy. I mean, so that's what my concern is, that even out of all these moves, man, I think the Evan Fournier thing to me didn't pan out. And I think the best thing for the Knicks to do, in my perspective, is move him to the bench. And like you said, you want to put Alex Burks there and put Emmanuel quickly at that point guard, like you said, and then let Grimes get in there and get that burn, but take quickly. But that's the easiest thing to do to me. And I would even right now, if Nerlens Noel ain't gonna be healthy and can't play, then you know what? I will bring Obi Toppin and them, start the game off with Obi Toppin and Julius Randle and Mitchell off the bench if you still want to bring him in off the bench. But
this is. Oh, sorry, but my bad, Divine.
No, you good. I'm finished, man. Real talk.
Yeah. See, my thing is, you talking about external stuff. That's why low key. Nothing. Scott Perry's done some good. Scott Perry's respected and everything. He's done his thing. But the problem I got with Scott Perry,
Quit bringing in your old Orlando guys. I don't want any more of your old Orlando guys, man. You brought in FP, and then now we got in doggone Evan, and neither one of them. What you gonna do next? Bring in what's his name? Point guard that's out that's hurt that you traded for from Philly. Mikael Folks.
Yeah, Markel Folks. Yeah, right.
Markel Folks, yeah. Markel Folks, what you gonna do? Bring him in? What you gonna do? Bring in? It makes no sense. Scott Perry, since he's been in, he's been a big miss on some stuff, man. Bringing in his retreads. We don't need your retreads because they're not panning out here. And Evan Fournier doesn't fit. He said he wanted to come in and all like that. And I was, like I said, I was supporting the team. I'm supporting the organization, but I'm tired, man. I'm tired because I want to see us build upon what was from last year to now. We should be building. Man, we regressed. This squad is looking like the Fizdale squad. Yes, I said that individual's name. Some of the stuff, the way they're looking out there on the court is like the Fizdale squad. They run around there lost like Keystone Cops. It's
You know what? What's also looking like probably one of the worst contracts to me, and I wasn't singing this before. Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
It's tradable, but I see a lot of that contract's getting a lot of heat. $10 million. He has value to this team. You can see when he helps us, but he hasn't been as durable. And he earned the pay rise last season, but like I said, to invest that kind of money in a center, backup center in this league, when you pick up Jericho Sims, we're not investing in the future.
Yeah. The sad thing about it was I actually thought Nerlens Noel was gone because I thought he played himself out of New York the way he played in the playoffs and stuff. I think somebody's going to roll up and pay him. And then so food poisoning, huh? Bad food. So
I haven't heard that yet.
No, he should have said his butt down then.
That's what I'm saying. You running around there with you trying to keep your butt cheeks tight so you don't mess up the floor and stuff, man. You don't need to be on the court, man. If you got the Hershey squirts, sit on down somewhere, man.
Sit on down.
He was a little. I'm sorry. He was a little hurt today too. You see, he had that tape on his arm too. That was a big thing I noticed as soon as he came out there. He wasn't rocking that new elastic tape that they put to strengthen your joints and stuff. I can't get the name out right now. But he had. Did y'all notice on his arm, on his right arm, he had that tape on tonight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that on his shoulder.
Shoulder. I mean, on his shoulder.
Yeah, and the thing is though, let's just keep it a buck. We just the front office, and like I said, got to give Jay Boogie his credit on this. He the one called it. They fumbled the bag, man. They look like Thurman Thomas, and he looked like Thurman Thomas. Going again when he fumbled against the Cowboys when they had a chance to win, when the Bills had that was way back in the day, I know. Yes, but the front office fumbled that ball, man. Good God Almighty, they fumbled the ball.
Yeah, I think
let's hope they can rebound. ACT, do you think real quick? Do you think they should? I know they always ain't on the same page. So I just want to ask you this question: do you think it might be some discontent in the front office with Perry, being that he didn't, he was already here when they got here. The Tibbs, he probably getting the players in here, and Tibbs might not don't like the players he getting in. Do you think that might be going on in the front office?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, to be honest. We saw draft night. One guy wanted this guy. One guy pounded his desk, I want quickly. Leon got his man Obi. As long as there's 4 men in a room, we all got different opinions, but it's how they work together and how they listen. But I think Scott Perry has been around a long time, and he probably feels like, hey, my experience, my voice should go further. And then you got Leon Ress and Steve Stout and all these other dudes, offering their things. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can see that, Divine. Good question. Sharp Hours, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it could be something to that, but Tibbs, I think, had a good look for IQ. I think I really do think that Deuce and Grimes was something that Tibbs liked. Mm-hmm. So it's possible that it could be something with Perry. Anything is possible now. We all talking because we lost tonight, man.
Mhm.
Perry making a mess tonight. So Perry
Yeah,
making a mess tonight, and he made some bad picks.
they went
So
the
I mean,
bed.
yeah. So we see what happens, man.
And I'll say this real quick before Solfinger goes. In the East, where everyone got better, we spent some money and we didn't get better so far. The upgrades we made haven't really been upgrades, and we relied on Derrick Rose so much last season, to the point that was made before in the chat. I'll pull that up. I'll find that one. But yeah, we relied on Derrick Rose. Yeah, it was salute my guy. Was it Boy Wonder? I think. Let me find that one. But yeah, Derrick Rose, we relied on him. We needed to absolutely solidify that starting point guard spot, and we didn't. Kemba Walker after 20 games. I can understand why Dolan might be fed up or fired up, by all reports, right? This is a marquee sort of addition, at a big spot, and after 20 games, he's flamed out like that. That's the epitome of a strikeout.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we didn't address it. Look, we had so many times to address the situation. We could have addressed it last season. At the trade at the open when the trades opened up last season. You had a chance to address this when Lonzo. It was a bunch of guards that were out there for the
Mm.
possibly get for the trade, and we had more of a cachet to make that move. Did we do it? No. We sat front office sat on their hands yet again, and you addressed it in a way by getting Deuce because those are tip guys. Regarding Perry, I think a lot of the Perry has a lot of. I mean, he's respected, but the thing is he was Joe Dumars' right hand when they made that championship run, when they put that team together and made the trade to bring Rasheed into Detroit, and it was all she wrote after that. He was in Seattle when they drafted Durant.
KD, yep.
Yeah, so those are the little things. He just happened to be that guy and be in the right place at the right time. So you get a lot of that shine like that. And it rolls over. So, but here, I can't say you bringing in your own retreads because I know for a fact that Scott Perry loves some LP. The same cat, and he played defense, but couldn't hit an elephant in the backside with an iron board, man. He scored 20 points 2 times last season. And I think his most assists, he averaged 4 assists a game. The best assist he had in the game was like 7, and that was like when he scored those 20 points. But for Burks to be running point and no knock on Burks and have no assists and you running the point, no man, not a good look. Not a good look, fellas. Not a good look.
Yeah, facts, right? And let's talk about the buzz that's going to continue around the trade season coming up. Divine, like I say, the biggest thing is they've made some mistakes, but the contracts are movable. Everyone was up in arms with that 4th years or 3rd years of the players, but we found out that they're 2-year deals for Burks, 2 years for Noel, 3 years for Fournier, but that is hopefully tradable. So, what in your mind, what do you want to see, out there, given or what do you propose?
Man, I would like to revisit the 1 and 3 again because the 1 and 3 didn't work, and that was our main. That's what we had needed to correct. We tried to correct it, but it didn't work. I mean, like I said, I like the Indiana. If Indiana are gonna do that, I think you got to look at that Karis LeVert and Miles Turner. I think you got to look at that. That's one of them. I do think you can pull that off without even messing with your salary money. What I mean by that is Miles Turner, on a 2-year deal left, or 1 year or 2 years. You got Nerlens Noel on a 2-year left. You got Kemba Walker on a 2-year. You know what I mean? That's $19 million. That's going to take care of the $18 million that Evan Turner get. And then you find a way to get that LeVert thing in there with, I don't think we throwing knock. They look like they're going to rebuild anyway. So if we can get them the Knoxes of the world, and we might have to give up something else, but then give them a pick. You give them one of them 22nd picks. I like that. I do think we need somebody like Robert Covington in here. I think we missing Rolo. He need to do like Rogo. I think that he would be a perfect fit for us down here. He's 6'8" at the small forward, could defend with the best of them, and can knock down a 3 with the best of them. And he gritty. He got grittiness. And I think that's what we missing out here. And I do think that I don't have no problem with that LeVert, Miles Turner. I think the contracts is easy to deal with. They're not long. So even after them 2 years, you ain't got to sign. You don't have to sign Miles Turner because you know what? You got his money off the books and you got no else money off the books. So now you can go get who you want. You know what I mean? I do think for now, I think if we can pull it off right now, I think Karis LeVert and Miles Turner gets the Knicks back to what we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. You know, and then maybe, you know, because like I said, right now, man, that's the only thing I see other than unless you're gonna go big game hunting. You know, but for now, I'll settle with them two guys for now, or maybe Robert Covington if he becomes available. And let me be honest with you, I would trade if Christian Woods come available.
Yeah,
I get, yeah, man, I could get Christian Woods in a heartbeat down there. You know what I mean? And he putting up numbers I said that's not putting up. Period.
Yeah.
And great points, Divine. And I'll add another question just before you kick it to Shah, and I want you to all answer this. You know, with these moves in mind, and chat too, with the moves in mind, are you okay for a move for the future rather than just trying to win this season? In other words, are you okay with, let's say we just make the play-in this season and flame out, but we don't cripple the team? Or are you just trying to make the biggest move now to rescue this season?
I would go. I would go for the future for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna get a player who's gonna help this team in the future, and absolutely, man, because that's what it is all about. The future comes every second. You know what I mean? And I do think if it's somebody else, and I'm gonna tell you, like I did like the De'Aaron Fox. I just was concerned with him and Randall's 5 years on them deals, 4 or 5 years, and that's the only reason. If it wasn't for that, I would go De'Aaron Fox as well. You know, nice size, big guard, quick guard, can get it. So yeah, to answer your question, CT, yeah, I'm definitely going to move that and prepare for the future because I think that's important for this organization. We haven't had that structure like that in a long time. So yeah, I'm willing to do that.
Because I say that because I don't want no knee-jerk reaction to cripple us only. You know, like the Bargnani thing. Not like I'm saying not saying they're going to do anything like that again. I think they're much smarter now, but again, you know, I don't want them to try to rescue a season if it's just not meant to be. You know, we're not winning a chip this season, so don't do nothing crazy. Don't try to fix a problem with another Band-Aid. You know, if there's a move to be made and it's right for the future, make it. But don't make no silly move just to rescue the season. I don't think, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I do like the Miles Turner thing, the Miles Turner and Karis LeVert thing, because I do think it sets us up for the future as far as salary cap money. We got enough young talent down there. You know what I mean? We do got talent. We got Grimes on them cats waiting in the pipeline. But if you do go get them two guys 2 years from now or a year from now, you can get rid of their money. Just get rid of it. And now you got back 30, you got 35, 40 million to deal with Karis LeVert money and my man money. In 2 years, that's almost close to $35 million. You know, and you're not giving up no crazy draft picks that we're not going to use. But I do think they can help us now. And another year, they can help us again. And then after that, you know what? If we don't get nowhere with them too, we let the money come free, man. You know what I mean? And by then, Cat and all the cats will be ready, I think.
Yeah, facts. Sharp hours.
Yeah, definitely something for the short term right now. I don't want to break the bank. I don't want to use too much. The way you say, Devon, this Miles and this LeVert deal will be something perfect. Easable trade. If that's even if Indiana want to do it now, man. That's even if they still want to do it. But I would really like to see that. And if we can find something for the future, of course, I'm ready to do something for that because this year I want us to do at least as good as we did last year. If we can make it to the first round and with the team that we got right now, without making any trades, anything like that, if we can make it to the first round, I hate to say this out loud and get in the first round and lose the first round, I still would be happy because we don't have nobody on this team that we can really say that we're building for the future aside from McBride and aside from Deuce, IQ, maybe RJ, everybody else aside from that, could be on the chopper block in the next couple of years, man. And yeah, I mean, future, you looking at somebody for the future. There go my man, Javante Murray. If you want to throw a name out there too, that's a future looking guy for me. He didn't play too good against us the other night, but I think he could be somebody that could get in there and almost have a triple double every night, man.
Word.
We need a guard. We need a point guard. We need a true point guard, man.
He would be the one. Hey, so I think he'd be the one because I think him and RJ. If
Yeah, I
you
like Murray.
Man, I
RJ,
love.
I
that'd be
like
a
Murray.
backcourt. You talking about 6'7" backcourt?
I'm telling you.
That'd be nice. For
and
real.
and picking up a Murray like that would accentuate RJ. That would make him better. It would put him back into his position as a
It's
two.
just two.
You know what I mean? And I think RJ would thrive a little better, even though he's playing great defense this year and stuff like that against some of these guys. And he's looking these last two games, he played pretty good. I mean, throughout this whole season, man, he has been playing pretty decent, man. He fell off with his 3-pointer, but he seems like he's starting to get it back a little bit like that. But you put that Murray on that point guard, true point guard, man, you'll see the difference in Randall's play. You'll see the difference in Fournier's play. Anybody that we have on the team, you'll see the difference because he will facilitate. And that's what we're missing right now. We need somebody to push this pace, man.
No, that is true. I think we're gonna wind up making a move for the future, and just try to improve upon the season because we're not. Let's keep it a buck. We're not winning a championship with
Right,
this squad right now. It's not what it
right.
is. I don't want to. I would just like to see us trend forward. Upward. Because the better the team looks, that means it opens the door for free agents when the time comes when you can get somebody. But when you look in the way we're looking like fool's gold from last season. And yeah, a lot of it was the COVID season and nobody was there, so that's why it happened. And yeah, we did sneak up on a lot of teams. A lot of teams wouldn't expect it. But now things have changed, but you're still running the same stale, stagnant offense. Still running the same stale, stagnant plays. And then you didn't address, like you said, fellas, like everybody's been saying, the two big needs: small forward and point guard. Point guard has always been a number one thing because we haven't drafted. Who's the last? I mean, we hadn't drafted a point. Well, I mean, besides Miles, and then we may have something in Rokas, even though he's overseas.
Mm,
But we have to buy that contract out to get him over here, so that's more money. So I think they're gonna probably let him sit over there for another year before they bring him over, even though he's looking pretty decent overseas. But I would make a move to not to put a tissue paper on this arterial bleed, but 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 make a move for the future. And I would keep an eye out to see what's going on, with Murray and a few others. I know a lot of folk were talking about Cat. A lot of cats in the chat have been throwing out the big cat down up there in Milwaukee. I honestly think that they're going to be moved. They're building that team around Edwards, and Cat just going to be a fixture. And he eventually may get pushed up out of there. That's a possibility. I know some people say he's soft. Some people say this, say that. Hey man, we can't. It won't hurt. Now I'm not giving Mitch a hard time because Mitch was a second round pick. And and he was out for a while. It is what it is when it comes to him. But it's gonna be a move to the future. And if I had to make a trade to get somebody, if I can't get a point guard, I would knock on Sacramento's door and see if I can get a Harrison Barnes to come in there because I think he may
mm.
have like a year or two to come on the left and see what other one of those and see what other point because they got a few point guards up there. See what we can shake loose from there.
Yeah, facts, right? Wheeling and dealing and the front office. Like this is how you know how strong this front office is, Divine, how good they are at negotiating, making trades, things like that. Because there will be moves coming, I think.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with Pud Nice. I really do believe you might have it. I think you got a real good chance to get Cat in New York. Just because of the way all the stuff aligned. Kenny Payne know his dad, they good people. The Cat from Kentucky, the Cat with coach with Tibbs. Listen, you put Cat putting up 25 and 11
Mm.
like that. You put both of our centers' numbers together, they're not even doing that.
And then this is the other thing to think about with
You can put all
Cat.
three of them.
They ain't
Yeah,
doing that, man.
this is the other thing. Cat is granted, and he's from Jersey, correct? Right?
Yep.
He's from Jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
the Knicks was his favorite team growing up as well. And
Yeah,
I remember they did it was Walt. Clyde was talking about him. They showed an interview of him as a young kid doing interviews in the Garden. When he was in like junior high school. But I say all that to say this: it's a good possibility. He does definitely feel the need. And if you compare a Cat with a Randall,
Ooh.
and you get a we don't need a high scoring point guard. We need a floor general, man. I don't
That's
care if
it.
a point guard. I don't care if a point guard is averaging 8 points. But if this joker get me 8 to 10 assists a game and just get direct people around, I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can give me some rebounds, guard. You don't have to be a high super scorer, but can defend your own man. Then we cooking.
Yeah, I think, and I understand where Leonard and all the guys coming from, and everybody with the D thing. But man, you know what? It's a team thing, man. But I tell you what, though, can you just imagine hypothetically? This is a hypothetical.
Yeah.
You had Devontae Murray at the 1, RJ, whoever at the 3, Randall and Cat. Whoever you get that right 3 guy. Let's say the 3 guy with a Robert Covington, hypothetically, that team easily can compete with Antetokounmpo and all them guys.
Yeah, because now you got a point guard that's going to push pace and Murray. And the other beautiful thing about it is, while he's pushing pace, look everybody. He makes everybody's job easy. He'll make everybody's job easy. You got RJ
Easy.
going back to the position where he's more comfortable.
Easy.
Now Randall can play with more control. And then if you, like you said, Cat, you have Cat down there. Cat can either kill you down low or pull you outside. And the other beautiful thing about it, they all can run the floor.
Oh, Murray 18, 8 and 8, 19, 8 and 8 this season. What?
See, do you guys have a problem too? The fact that we're not as attractive as we should be. What's stopping these people from choosing New York? Every player that damn near comes here says, "I love the Garden. I want to put on my best performance. I want to play for one night a year." Who's man enough to want to come here and play 42 games a year here and do that?
The thing is, the stage is bigger at the Garden. The lights are brighter than other places because you got the media. Just we've seen it firsthand. You have a bad game, it's going to be known. It's going to be known. And then a lot of cats just not built for it. And then we haven't looked attractive in a while because of our record. Last season was supposed to be the foundation to start. This season we're supposed to build upon that, but we're not even showing that. So it's kind of like, it's food gold. Why would I want to go there? Even though, and the culture, they changed the culture, but it's the front office, like I said, we're bringing in retreads that just ain't getting us.
Yeah. You know what? And like I said, I do think the reason why players didn't want to come here the last 8-9 years, we was losing. Period.
Yeah. We were losing.
They didn't want to come here because they're like, nah, I ain't going to no losing team. And you noticed last year, like you said, so if you noticed last year we went 41-31, then you hear people like Stephen, they say they know they ain't want to come to New York. There's not. I don't think there's an NBA player who wouldn't want to play a Madison Square Garden for 41 games.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the Knicks need to be winning because nobody want to go to a losing team. I wouldn't even want to go to a losing team. You know what I mean? So I do think once the winning cures all, I think winning cures everything. You know what I mean?
And the
first step of it.
Yeah, and the other thing that doesn't help is you got media outlets like ESPN and certain folk in there. They like to use us as the punch, as the beat, as the crash test dummy, trying to make it seem like it's something that it's not. Oh, that's another Knicks thing that you do. If you look at it, like you say, if you look at highlights when they talk about certain players, they show highlights of somebody having a good game against us.
Knicks, yep.
All the time, and they run it 5 and 6 times on one setting, on one show. I mean, I just watched it again when they were talking. It was the NBA, the new NBA show they got on ESPN. Or I was working, and they were talking about
NBA
Miles.
today.
Yeah, NBA Today, and they were showing Miles was it Mikal Bridges? No, Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges, his dunk he had on us, but they played it. They just kept rewinding it, kept rewinding it, kept rewinding it, kept rewinding it. And I was like, okay, see, that's the stuff that makes you think that, oh man, I want to go to the Knicks. Man, they look like suckers. When it could be just that one play. They're doing the subliminal thing, the media thing to make you, because if I run something over and over and over again, it'll make you think that you're not what you are. You know, it's crazy like that, man. But not winning, that hurt us, man. But last season started turning things around, but now we're here. So now you got the media talking about, oh, the Knicks are one of the bigger disappointments of the season. You know,
Yeah.
but you can't argue with it. I can't argue against it because look at what we've been doing on the floor.
There can be an argument. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. There can be an argument made for two ways, like to just try to make the most of this season so that we don't lose any, attraction. We continue to move in the upward trajectory as a franchise. We made the playoffs feel good. Suddenly players wanted to come. Kemba, Fournier. If we make 7th or 8th, we make the playoffs. Maybe we give them a hard 6-7 game series. Even if we lose, we're still growing as a franchise. But if we don't make the playoffs this year, there's going to be a lot of vitriol, a lot of jokes, and a lot of media scrutiny, things like that. So maybe they are damned if they do, damned if they don't. And maybe we do just need to make a move and try to get into that playoff spot at all costs,
Yeah.
At all costs. Because if we just continue to tread water, maybe that big star, young free agent will eventually choose the New York Knicks, But if we fall back down again, that could be to our detriment,
Yep, absolutely. That's why I think that's why I said, you know what? Don't get me wrong, guys. We won game under 500. We've been playing that shit. It ain't like the thing that fell out of the sky. But when we did, but I do think that we could still salvage this season by making that simple trade with Indiana.
Simple.
It's simple. It's not even messing with the infrastructure. It's not literally even messing with the infrastructure. And you got the two pieces because they want a Miles Turner anyway in the all season.
Yeah,
I do not think Indiana going. I think they moving Miles Turner and Caris LeVert because they're not going to spend them guys. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, they're not going to give them that money. And Miles Turner, let's keep it a buck. He fits a need. And if you can move Nerlens, and hold on to Mitch and Miles Turner. Now you got you something,
right?
Because guess what? You can start your Miles Turner and then bring Mitch off the bench because look like Mitch runs better with the bench. So
he can do it too. ACT and shot and so like I said, Noel 10 million, Kimba's 9 million. Indiana and a rebuild, that money can come off the books. You know what I mean? In another year, they leave them there with 2 veterans to help develop the young guys for another year. They don't got no problem with that. They like, listen, we bring these 2 guys back for the next year, and after that, they gone. We got $19 million. And by then, you done brought a bunch of you brought in a couple of young guys. You probably get a pick from the Knicks or a couple of picks or whatever they might do. But I do think that, and then that way, we help them with their rebuild. They help us get to the playoffs and get beyond. I think if you bring the Caris LeVert and Miles Turner in here, that's way better right now than Kemba Walker and Evan
oh God, yes.
God, yes. I think we get much better. We get much better, and I think we really be talking about that fourth seed then and third maybe because I think them cats will put us there.
I mean, I'm sorry. I was just gonna throw this out there. I mean, even to make that happen right now, even with pick, I mean, even to make the trade, we give up some players, and I would to really try to get that to happen right now, and we could do this, man. Give up a first round. I would give up a first round. They would want a first round plus some picks. I think they'll go for that real quick, man. Especially if they're on especially if they're in rebuild mode. But give them a first round, or give them 2, 3 second rounds, or give them something that make them more than just a player swap. You make it more interesting, man. You put some money on the table, like, here, man, we give you a Blase blah Kemba. We give you Kemba. We give you Knox. We give you Noel. We give you a first round pick and 2 second picks. I mean, I that's a lot for those 2 guys, but for now, that would help us. That would definitely put us back in the fourth position, I think, man. With Miles and Mitch coming off the bench, whew, man, that's a good tandem coming. That's a backcourt that we need right now.
Yeah, definitely. And the only thing is what would the Pacers want? See, that's
Right,
the thing, because they're
right.
gonna want something. Because I know what I'm saying they're gonna want something other than Nerlens. You know,
Hmm.
Nerlens hand. You know, he's 150 pounds of fury when he's out there, but he got hands like skillets, like I always say. Um, but they're gonna want something because the minute you start sniffing around talking about an IQ and or something like that, that's when talks will be like, hey, bro, nah,
No.
because I got to shut it down because the IQ is the future,
Hmm.
unless you're gonna give up something that we don't know. And the other thing too is, maybe we need to bring up Luca.
Yep.
Facts.
Another idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
bring
Maybe
up Luca.
we hold pat and see what Rokas, looks like, towards the end of the year, and also
Mm-hmm.
let's I'm with calling up our favorite trade partner, the Dallas Mavericks. You say, hey,
Oh yeah.
Jalen Brunson, you're not going to be able to pay him. Here's a couple picks. Give us Jalen Brunson. We'll give you a vet, Kemba Walker, help you in the playoffs.
Yep.
See, I
Because
was saying about Jalen Brunson last year. I was like, "Hey, Jalen Brunson, man, that a lot of people were sleeping on him, man. He got good numbers, and he's got tied and his ties to the Knicks as well. Because remember, his pop played for the
Played
Knicks.
for it. Yeah, yeah.
exactly, yeah.
That's the
That's why I think they'll look close to home. These guys want to get people they have intel on. And
Mm-hmm.
also, not just Brunson, the player, but that's smart business. You need to be sniffing around teams that are about to lose a player for nothing and say, hey, we're going to give you something. You don't want to lose this free agent for nothing.
Hmm.
You can't pay them. Here, we'll give you Evan Fournier. You take him.
Yeah, real
You
talk.
take
Hey,
3 years of Evan Fournier's deal. We'll give you something, a couple second rounders, and we'll take the player that you're about to lose for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in Indiana, you don't believe it or not. See, Indiana's the ones trying to make it happen. So you kind of got an advantage against them because they the ones trying to get rid of somebody. You know what I mean? So the beggars can't be choosy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to take you because if you get too picky, you might not get nothing. You stuck with that contract, you might not get nothing. You might not get nothing. So they probably got to take the best offer out there, but they also can't go out there and try to add for the bag and add for a bunch of picks when they know that you're not in a position to deal like that because
Mm-hmm.
everybody can do is say no, and then you stuck with them contracts. You know what I mean?
See,
So I
only
think
thing I hate is we got another 7 days to trade to the
at least
trade gates open,
with the
and as it
restricted
gets,
part of it,
yeah, I
unrestricted, I
do.
think it is something like that.
It's unrestricted.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be wide open. The
Mhm.
thing is the problem is going to be we're going to hear all kinds of rumors because they're going to be supposedly right now there are 3 teams interested in Kemba. You know, so we'll find out who they are and what they want. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I pray to God one of them teams are the Timberwolves. You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I pray to God one of them teams are the Kings. Uh,
Mm.
maybe the Pacers are actually looking for something. Maybe we can make a move with one of them. But I mean, we should. I mean, really, the front office needs to be calling every team seriously, flipping over every rock. Don't just shoot your shot on any and everything and see what happens, man. Throw it against the wall, see what sticks. But be smart about it and don't do a knee jerk, whatever, because you panicking because you want to keep your job. And another thing is, I low key hope happens. I do hope that Scott Perry is the one that Portland wants. Because see, now you got to break. You just can't just give. You got to give us something to get him. You know. So even though the 2 most attractive pieces, no, they don't really have many trade pieces, so it just depends on what we can pull out from them. But Scott Perry here, take him, and while you at it, here's Kevin Knox here as a consolation prize. Take him.
I got a good one for him. C.J. McCullough just went down with a collapsed lung, right? I need
Mm-hmm.
Scott Perry and Kemba Walker for Covington.
Yeah, I mean it's simple because I think Covington may have like a year or so left,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it kind of fixed. So you can roll it with the system. I mean, if he has a year left, I do believe he's a year or two left. You can roll that and put him, the defense and everything. I know a lot of people like his numbers this, his numbers that, but he fits the need and he's a decent defender. And that's what I'm looking at for the defensive purpose.
I like that boy, man. He got the mentality to play on New York. He played down there in Philly when he in Philly them years, man. And
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's right dude.
Mm-hmm. And as the other thing, like I said, we had to be patient, see what other things. Because I think the other teams are about to have fire sales. Some of these other teams that just missed the mark.
Oh, yeah.
I got a feeling there's gonna be some fire sales coming besides Portland and the Pacers. We still got to see who's gonna be giving up what becomes available. Because truth be told, anybody can get got. Nobody's truly untouchable. Maybe one or two in the league, but we'll see.
Yeah, facts. And let everyone know. Divine and I, we're recording a pod tomorrow with somebody who's closely connected to the New York Knicks. So keep an eye out for that. It couldn't come at a better time, basically. So we've got a lot of questions we're going to put to this person, and we're going to see what they say. But let's turn our eye on the next matchup. Toronto Raptors as well. We need to get back again, like 500. Let's get back there. Let's Scotiabank Arena. I don't think we've been there since it's been 2 years now. How confident are you guys feeling?
After tonight, I mean, you want to say you ain't too confident. I'll let Sha go because Sha got getting there. The brother been chilling.
I mean, I'm right there. I'm here, but I'm right there with you, man. After tonight's game, man, I'm nervous, man. I don't know if we're gonna have a game like we had tonight, or if we're gonna have a game like we had yesterday. This team, the consistency on this team right now scares me. And I'm really down what you said, Devon, earlier. If we can make it to the All-Star break and we had 500, I'm happy right now, man, because we might have to wait to the long haul to make some of these trades to see really what's going to be out there. And we really, I mean, the 15th, it may be December 15th, but nothing may jump off until January 31st. So we might have to go a whole nother month before we can really make a trade, or see what we want. I'm optimistic about tomorrow's game. I'm a big Knicks fan, man. I think we're gonna go in there and we can smack them down, man. Never under 500 team, but we really got to go in there with some intensity, man. We can't go in there like we did tonight and do nothing. And we play at the Garden, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
We on the road.
No, yes, right. We on the road. We on the road.
We still on the road, right? Okay.
Right. My mistake.
Oh yeah, the two games, the two big teams we got coming to New York. Golden State or whatchamacallit. Yeah.
The Bucks, I do.
Yeah, they coming to New York. All right, I mean, we need this win, man. We on the road, man. And I know they're upset about the way they played tonight, man. Everybody being in the negative tonight, I know they are sitting there and talking amongst themselves and be like, we can't keep playing like this. They do need a big shakeup, and that 1-3 spot is where we needed at.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. First of all, is Scotty Barnes? Is he back on the floor? Because I thought he was hurt for a second.
Yeah, he back. Anunoby.
Okay.
Anunoby might not be there.
Anunoby, well, yeah, and Anunoby smacked us last time.
Ooh.
He smacked us. He smacked us hard. And Scotty Barnes, hey man, Scotty Barnes is a beast. He's a monster.
You know who awaits us after Toronto is the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, and Steph in the record.
Yeah,
and it's in the Garden.
Yeah. Hey, the game before that, you got Giannis in them.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing. We can beat anybody that steps on the floor with us. It's just the team, the players, got to come in with the intensity. You have to come in and want it. It got to come to the point where you got to reach down deep and look at your that pride, man. Look in the mirror and be like, "Yo, man, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired." You got to defend your house. We play better on the road than we do at home. That just baffles me, man. I don't see. And and I know when the trade's open, I don't see us being. We're gonna probably look, but if a trade comes, it's gonna come towards the latter part of the trade, like right before the deadline. Like
Right.
and I think that's when it's gonna really happen. I just don't see anything big, major coming. And unfortunately, I don't think our front office is gonna make a really big trade anyway. Maybe try to move, like move Kimba, I mean, move it. If we were able to move Evan, then that's major in itself.
Oh,
You know, that's
yeah.
huge. And it could be addition through subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, if you can move him and get something, man. I mean, at this point, man, I'm so disappointed in Evan Fournier. I'd take him for a pressed ham sandwich and and a bag of chips.
Yeah, I'd trade him for Lucas Samanic, and we have Lucas Samanic on the roster.
Right.
I mean, for real, man.
You know what? And I think he just need to change it. I think he need to change the environment. I think he can help a contender. I think he can help a playoff team. I really do. And Fournier he can do that. He just can't do it in New York with the way with the way around here. But you know what?
He's not built for us.
Yeah, I do think the Toronto game, like you said, they smacked us around the last time, man. We're gonna see where these guys' pride and their character at. These boys gave out of business. Let's see what y'all made of. And if you go down there in Toronto and you let them boys smack y'all, then we got a serious dog problem in New York.
The thing is, the dogs are on the bench.
Right.
The dogs on the we got two young pit bulls sitting on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
One gets in just enough for a sip of coffee and half a drag on a cigarette, and the other one he's still chained. He can't even get out. And I'm talking about Deuce and Grimes.
Yeah. Hey,
And
I
then
do think Kimba. Yeah, excuse me. I mean, cut you off. Yeah, I do think you got a really good chance of moving Kimba next week, though. And I agree with you, CT. I don't see the Knicks keeping him sitting on that bench like that all the way to the trading deadline. I would think that's a bad look. That's a bad look. You know what I mean?
And you made a real quick. Yeah, I'll throw it back to you. But you made a real good point about Kemba's personality. A lot of teams could want that in the locker room. He showed himself to be a stand-up guy, and he could be a role model for the vets. Like Dallas, Clippers, something like that. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll send him. Hey, I would ask LA, would you want to trade him for Rondo?
You know what, Devon, I thought about that. That's just a stopgap. And I know as a stopgap, it's like, oh, I want Rondo, but you know what?
Yeah.
Temporarily, you know what?
Playoff Rondo with Tibbs.
Playoff Rondo, man. Playoff Rondo, man.
He morphs into a different player.
Yeah. And I would rather have him running point than what we got right now.
Yeah, I think he got the toughness we need there. You know what I noticed about that? Like, hey, I'm a big Derrick Rose fan, but Derrick Rose is not really a tough ball player. You know what I mean? He's a savvy veteran who grew up in Chicago and all that. Don't get me wrong, but he's not. I don't think he's one of them guys who will bark at you. You know what I mean? Or go hard at you. I think he'll come at you with calmness. He is still a leader. But he's not one of those leaders who's aggressive, I think. And I think Rondo, man, that man got a lot of knowledge in him when it comes to playoffs and how to play the point guard position. He was more of a facilitator than Derrick Rose as a scorer. You know what I mean? He was a facilitator his career. He done played with Garnett, Kendrick Perkins, all them cats. He done played with some of the thoroughest cats in the business over the last 10 years. So I think he would that'd be a good move. And then Kemba Walker get to go out to LA, maybe he can win a ring.
And see, that's the other thing. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because I know LA. I got a homeboy. He's a big Clippers fan, and he's saying he's hearing word on their side that the Clippers are kind of like sniffing around possibility, maybe sniffing for Rondo. I mean, not Rondo. Excuse me.
Ty Lue.
Kimba. Yeah.
Is it Ty Lue out there?
Yeah. So I mean, look. The Clippers got trade pieces too. They got some stuff they can probably trade to give us up that can help us as well. So it just depends, man. Like I said, we'll see once another 7 days. We'll find out who's been looking for Kimba and all this other good stuff. But like I said, the song said change gonna come, and it needs to happen, man. Because I'm of the ilk of I would rather us build. I want to build from last year. Get our identity back as in defense, and move. I really don't want to get eliminated in the first round. I want to make it to that second round, man.
I do too. I do.
You know, I want to see progress and making it through the playoffs shows progression. Not just having a good season, get to the first round again, get knocked out. It's like, oh, you're still doing the same thing. We got to build on that. But you got the young cats got to get some more time. They got to get more because those young guys, look, Grimes gets on the court and you see it. You see what he brings. That defensive intensity. And you got Simonic and Deuce down there lighting up the G League.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, maybe
I just think it's Tibbs. Like he just wants to go with what he's comfortable with, you know. You brought Taj in, D Rose. I'm not saying these are the wrong things, but just sometimes you just gotta, you know, sometimes you can get in your own way in life, you know. That's why Leon Rose, again, it goes above the guy who's above the guy, you know. Someone needs to tell you, hey, you're getting in your own way. Play this guy for the future or play this. But to credit, I'm glad the way they handled the Kemba thing. It just wasn't working out. They're ready to move him on, and I think that's going to happen next week. You know, I think that's going to happen next week, fellas.
That's the first domino to fall. That's for sure.
I can say one thing. If we were looking for a suitor for Evan Fournier to move him, a perfect place for him to go would be San Antonio. Just saying, you know. Playing over there with Popovich, I mean, you know, that's Murray right there for you. That's a little piece of money for Murray.
I'd trade him to Washington for Ish Smith.
Oh man, Ish, yeah, I like Ish too, man.
Hey, you know what's disappointing about this year too, to be honest though. You know, Tibbs didn't win coach of the year for a reason. The man can coach basketball. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You only good as the players you got, bro. And I'm being honest with you guys. We could throw Tibbs that shade at Tibbs all day because now we want to play the young guys. But at the beginning of the season, we was talking about being the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. We were talking about the number 3 seed. We wasn't talking about, we need to play young guys now, get them.
That's true.
We wasn't talking like that 2 months ago. We were talking about the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. The players letting Tibbs down. Fournier letting Tibbs down. Noel letting Tibbs down. Kemba letting Tibbs down. Yeah, man. I mean,
they all got paid.
Yeah, right. You asking this cat to go in there and change what they whole game plan in 23 games compared to what we all were thinking about on the first day of the season. Everybody in this chat, in this panel, and everybody all over the place were talking about Knicks going to be 4th or 3rd in the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
You know, and now 23 games into it, 24, the players that we brought in here did not perform to that level. And this is a man who won coach of the year with a roster with only one player who was an all-star last year. And now we come in here with this. I mean, to me, they need to get these players together. Evan Fournier did not work for Tibbs. I don't think Kemba Walker worked for Tibbs. I think we Noel sat out. He'd been missing in action since the beginning of the season.
He's played a total of 11 games.
Yeah, and you asking this man you asked him to patch up his team with the players that he got, and they all rookies. I don't care who you put in there. They're not going to change our season around until we bring some more players in here. I don't think them guys would change our season around. I think we would be developing them to get them better to go forward, but I don't think they would change the season around. I think they just got to get Fournier up out of here. Find a way to get somebody for Fournier. Find a way to get somebody for Kemba Walker, and see if we can still make the playoffs. Or hopefully we can. Other than that, man, I know we all got to get on Tibbs. He the coach, but think about what they put him in his position. They put that man in though.
No, they put him in a bad situation. I agree with you. I agree with you, Devon. They did put him in a really bad situation. Front office didn't give him the players that he needed or he wanted. Truthfully, what he wanted, you know, because I mean. He got it in the draft with Deuce and Grimes. But what about the players you want to bring in? He said, I need shooting. Yes, he needed shooting, but he didn't want just shooting and no defense.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So you gave him shooting but no offense. But then you like I said, you took a shot on. I really think before the Kemba situation, it was going to be IQ. Because you saw how they were working him this summer in the summer league and even in the before like I said, Kimba, it was IQ, how he was working. I think IQ was going to be the starting point guard. That's just me personally, how I feel. They're going to try to experiment with that, but it didn't work out. But Evan Fournier, that one was the big miss. That one was the big miss. That was a really big miss, man.
That was CT. That was a big miss right there, brother. Because we weren't expecting that.
I actually think we got 3 problems on the starting 5. The center spot is hurting because they don't give us offense. We're slow in the half court.
That's true.
You're playing 4-on-5. And I actually think the small forward spot could be even more important than the point guard spot. We put one athletic scoring wing in that small forward spot. That could save this whole starting 5. And then, of course, we all know how important the point guard is.
Yeah, it is, man. It is crazy, man. What happened just a year from now, like I said, and you spent the money, but the money just said, I know scared money don't make money. We get it, but you got to also spend it wisely. They took a gamble on Fournier. They took a gamble on Kemba Walker. That's $28 million right there, 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was saying a stream ago, you could have, instead of getting that before Fournier, you could have bought back Burks and Reggie Bullock for the same amount of money you gave Evan Fournier. The same amount of money, maybe $1 million more. You could have kept the 2 dudes you had, and then even bring Fournier in. You know what I mean? Then you wouldn't have had that issue. So
you know what? What's ironic, fellas? If we had drafted, if we were like going back to tonight, if we would have been able to draft Chris Duarte,
I was just thinking the same thing.
We would not have signed Evan Fournier. I think that's the guy they wanted.
Yeah,
so that's funny that it comes back tonight.
Mm-hmm. That's what we wanted because Tibbs was speaking highly of him. He had everything. He plays defense. He could shoot the 3. It was everything. He's a Tibbs kind of cat. And the Pacers jumped up and snatched him. And I was like, man, this is a bunch of, I'm not going to even say the word. I ain't going to even say the words on the airwaves. I'm turning on my brain mouth filter because I was hot when I saw that, man. And then, something talk about Cam Reddish. You remember last season, Cam Reddish, his stock was low. So we could have swung in and got him because he was there for the taking. But we sat on our hands. Now look what's going on with Cam Reddish. You're going to have to give up and get some stuff to get Cam Reddish now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the front office, Mr. Look, Pudge Knight put it out there. If you and I don't like to keep talking about the free agency, but we didn't make a whiff on anybody. If you're gonna bring in somebody to play the 2, how about you get you a 2, somebody to play the 2 that can play defense and can score? That's still a bucket. Nobody. You didn't make a run at Norman Powell. The money we gave, we could have gone for a Norman Powell. You didn't try to make a move at Gary Trent.
Oubre.
None of that. Kelly Oubre.
That's who I wanted the whole year, man. I was like, they need to bring in Kelly Oubre to the Knicks.
You have Kevin Knox rotting on the bench, and what would have solved our problem is Miles Bridges or Mikal Bridges.
After one workout, you went with Knox over them. But that's who Fizdale wanted so bad. And he only had one good game in college, and then he's done one good. But look at both the Bridges. Look at both the Bridges. Both of them, man. They could have answered our problem.
Dynamic with one of them next to Randall and RJ.
The problem is, fellas, our problem started with the Knox draft. And it's just been building ever since then. That Frank.
I think the Frank one, when y'all let Donovan Mitchell go past that Frank.
Hey fellas, let's get ready to close it up for tonight in the chat. Hey, love you supporting, and your energy after a loss,
Yeah, man.
We always got to look at the brighter side of things, and where there's better days to come. Whichever way you want it, whatever move you want to see shaken up, whatever thing you want to see fired. Love this chopping this up, and the season's only really just getting started. So I think we're going to see some huge bombs this season. Yes. And I love you all on the panel, chopping this up. And Sharp Hours, I know you got an early start tomorrow too, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm rocking out tonight, man. I had to vent this out, man, because I probably wouldn't have slept well the way they played tonight, man. I'd have been tossing and turning, getting up for work. I had to vent with my fam right here, everybody over here, because tonight was a rough night, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Soulfinger number 12. Hey, always coming in here knowledgeable, full of passion, knowledge, and that fitted's fire. It's good we get to see you, in the flesh now.
Yeah, I've been popping up, been doing a lot of work around the house, so it's been looking like everything around here been a disaster under construction. So I saw it pop up, and then I saw that I had this lid on earlier, and I was like, must have been a good day because I see Devon got the same lid on, so I was like, hey.
Great minds think alike, like we always say.
Hey, yeah, Divine, hey, take us out for tonight, and appreciate everyone in the chat again. Let's shout them out.
Yeah, man. To everybody in the chat, salute to the panel, man. Soulfinger, everybody, man. Shout Powers, man. We appreciate y'all, brother. We already appreciate y'all blessing the show, man. You already know. And in the chat, y'all know where it's at, man. Y'all keep it moving, man, in there, man. Y'all make the show don't make without y'all ain't no Knicks. We'll talk all the streets of buzzing. Y'all already know. We got to get back at it, man. Terrible, disappointing loss tonight, man. We didn't have no energy. I want to say hopefully 50% of it was the back-to-back and the traveling. Because the whole team was bad. It ain't like 5 or 6 players were good, half of the other players were bad. The whole team stunk tonight. So I want to equate that to maybe it had to been maybe that back-to-back and traveling from
San Antonio
there, that it changes the time zone a little bit, don't it? Maybe a couple of hours here and there.
No, this should all be about the same.
Oh, okay, because I thought they was mentioning that maybe Indiana is more like Indiana. What is that, Midwest? I guess it is.
This Midwest.
The Midwest.
So Midwest, yeah. So it's about the same. If anything, an hour. If it doesn't change, maybe about an hour.
About an hour. That's what I'm. Yeah, because I think they were talking to Derrick Rose about that in with the pregame, how how he had to deal with that, and Wally Zerby, I talked about the same thing in the postgame or pregame about that, how that trip from San Antonio to Indiana does something. I don't know, but you know what, man, not to make no excuses. I'm gonna give them that tonight to see how they play Friday. I'm gonna give y'all that back-to-back tonight. I'm gonna say y'all came out there, the whole team was a minus. Normally the second unit is a plus. And the first unit is a minus, or vice versa. The whole team stunk it up tonight. So I want to hope that was because of that. And like I was telling CT and everybody in the chat, we played last night at 8:30 and started today at 7. I wish it would have been the opposite. We started last night at 7 and then give us more time on the back-to-back like 8:30 tonight. You know what I mean? Would have been nice. But we got to get back at it, man. I don't think the sky is falling, but I'm concerned about the energy, the effort they played to TT tonight. And let's get back at it, man. This is where we are right now. You know what I mean? We some valleys. We still close to 500. We just got to tread water to something happen. You know what I mean? But let's not give up on our team, man. Right now, I think they, like I said, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. And we get it popping, man. And hopefully Friday we go down to Toronto and try to get a revenge game and play with a little bit more intensity, a sense of urgency, a sense of passion, and all that. Let's try to bring it Friday, CT, and I think that'd be good if we can get that off, man. And I'm like Pud and I say back to 500 Friday. Let's go. We got to get it, man. We ain't giving up yet.
Yeah, exactly. You live to fight another day. Disappointing night overall. Especially after last night's, come from win. Feel good win. But hey, the players got to be knowing that a shake-up's coming soon, right? Players that start to play with this noise, look for some guys to thrive and some guys just to go into their shell even more. This is going to happen all around the league. And I think, there will be a move next week. I think I can see it, might be the Kemba one, I feel. But let's keep our finger on the pulse. Appreciate everyone. Let's get it on the next one. Salute. The streets are buzzing. Knicks Real Talk.
Salute.
To the chat.